How big is your total addressable market? Do you know? Well, guess what? If you do know, only 1 to 3% of buyers in that space are looking to buy at any given time. So that's a really small percentage of customers that are actually actively in market. So what is a sales rep to do? Good morning. Ruby and I today are talking about the other 97%. The other 97% of your buyers who are not in market, they're not ready to do anything, but eventually, because it's a rolling 1 to 3%, will eventually get there. Who are they going to buy from? So it's very important that we understand who they are. So Chris Walker from Refine Labs, who I'm very, very, very interested in understanding more about how he thinks, because he's more than just a thought leader. He's really seeing the lens of how things are actually operating today. And his statement is, and it's one of his stats. The other key stat is that as of 2023, about 50% of buying dollars in B2B are handled by millennials. So that's a different buyer. So when you start thinking about this, how do we ensure that we're doing the things that will matter to the other 97% of our market when they're ready to buy anything? So from our side of the fence, looking at how buyers buy, it's really helpful to note how many things that you need to start thinking about doing differently to ensure that you're relevant to those 97%. So for example, do you know for a fact that you having an ad on page 37 of that trade magazine is going to lead to good things? My statement is probably not, but prove me wrong. I'm using that term a lot these days. Prove me wrong. I don't want to make bold statements without having this conversation about, like, if your buyer is doing that behavior and they see and understand and know based upon you being there, great, that's amazing. Prove it. And the same side of the coin, if I feel like somebody is listening to a podcast or doing something on LinkedIn, it's incumbent upon me too to prove it. The beauty of having data is that it's way easier to prove. Now, what's the validity and veracity of that data? Well, that's up for debate a little bit, but here's where we go. We want to understand more about what activities, what money are we betting to go out and talk to the 97%. Who are not ready for us yet, but they will be. So today, think about that. What information does your buyer need? How are they spending their time? What are they doing? Are they millennials? That's an important piece of information. They will buy differently than someone who's Gen X or older. So these are the things that we want every business development team thinking about. Your activities will reflect what you're doing. So whether it's marketing or sales, be relevant, be available, know that the 1 to 3% is going to be a highly competitive purchase process, and that you're really targeting the 97%. So when the 97% are ready to buy, you're top of the list. All right, that's enough for today. Enjoy somewhat warmer weather. Look at your markets, look at your teams, understand what your buyers want, how they want it, where they want it, when they want it, and give it to them. All right, Ruby, have a great one. Walking and Talking with Ruby.